I'm Chris with Superfly. We're here at Superfly headquarters in Santa, Utah, handlers of Advanced Gin and Nova. This is where we warehouse and do all of our service, inspection, repairs, repacks. I'm here today to talk about weight ranges. Everyone knows that the glider has a certified weight range, and it's important to talk about what that really means. It means that probably a handful of guys at the company that manufactured the glider teamed up to give their best guess at what the weight range should be for a certain size glider. After they're finished, they hand it off to two guys who are, again, professionals, super high level test pilots, who test the glider at high and low weights and make sure that the glider passes the maneuvers using the formula of induce a gigantic maneuver and then do nothing, relax, hands off. So the question is, what does this do for you as the average pilot as far as knowing what's going to be good for you in terms of weight range, how you should be weighted on the glider, how the maneuvers are going to be, and what you should do, basically what size you should choose. Most people can fly two different sizes of glider. If you do the math, and I know all of you do, and I know that more than half of you are going to make a spreadsheet and you're going to figure out where you are percentage-wise in the weight range, and then you're going to optimize based on your glider choices which one will be the best fit for you. And what I'm going to suggest right now is that nothing could be more misguided, and here's why. The gliders are not measured in an incredibly scientific way, meaning there could be a half meter or a meter play either way in terms of surface area. Don't lean on surface area to figure out what size you should fly. Just because you fly a 25 in one glider doesn't mean you fly a 25 in another. Same thing with weight ranges. Weight ranges are influenced by a great number of things. One thing, as an example, manufacturers love to keep a consistency from one year to the next. They don't want the medium from one year to be 70 to 90, and then in the next year it's 70 to 95. They like a consistency. They can also be influenced by the maneuvers. They can take the glider and put it in the spiral test and it'll fail. And when they bring down the max weight by 5 kilograms, it passes. And so there's been a manufacturer in the world that just changed the weight range so that it could pass the spiral, so the thing could get to market. And here's the real crux. By the time the glider gets out into the world, then it gets tested in real life conditions. It gets tested for things that aren't tested in the certification, like a glider's propensity to deflate. There's nowhere in the testing where that is tested in a scientific way. Manufacturers, good name brand manufacturers, will obviously test the gliders in a variety of conditions, but it could be happening that they're testing in Europe, it could be in Asia, could be places, South America, Central America, that are just plain softer, nicer, and more friendly to fly than, say, the American West, or the Himalaya, or the Andes. So do a little math, do a little due diligence yourself. Try the glider in two scenarios. Number one, grab the glider that is the smallest glider you could fly and fly it in the lightest conditions you would fly in. If it passes that test, then it's not too small. Then take that glider, fly it in high wind. Obviously it's going to fly pretty good. Take the next size up glider, try it in the strongest wind that you would fly in or want to fly in, and see if you can hold it down. See if it feels like home. See if you move around. Those are two real life tests that an average pilot can do, especially if they have access to one or two sizes. Say you're a beginner. You don't have the ability to do that test very much. You don't have the availability of gliders. Then you need to lean on your instructor. And hopefully what your instructor has done is they've flown that glider at a variety of weights. Fly it with a motor, fly it without a motor. All of a sudden you know a lot more about it. Fly it with a light student, fly it with a heavy student. Things are starting to come clear. Fly it in nice conditions, fly it in not so nice conditions. Now we're starting to know something. Put a couple hundred gliders out there over the course of a couple years with a variety of different types of students, instructors, and environments. Teach on it on a daily basis, fly it yourself on a daily basis over the course of years. If the word comes back that the glider is better flown a little heavy, maybe even 5 kilograms over the weight range, so be it. You'll notice that most manufacturers will now have an extended weight range to accommodate that. You'll also notice that paramotor gliders will be certified about 20 kilograms heavier than the same glider, exact same glider, certified for free flight. So we have 20 kilograms play. And then you bring in the mini wings where you're totally throwing out the rule book and gigantic dudes flying on 10 and 12 meters. There's some play. And the very best asset you have, far above and beyond spreadsheets, brochures, web pages, is your seat of the pants feel and the seat of the pants feel of your instructor. Let that be your guide. Lean not on the scientific, but lean a lot more on what you can feel and what your experience is in a kiting environment and in a benign flying environment. Remember, I'm not talking about flying outside the weight range particularly. I'm not saying don't follow the manufacturer's recommendation at all. I'm just saying be a good consumer and trust in yourself that you can tell the difference. And even if you're buying your very first glider, if you have 10, 20 flights, and if you've flown a couple things, you're gonna fly one glider and it's gonna feel right. And it's like trying on shoes and buying shoes. You're gonna go, that one looks great, gave me a happy feeling, it's a good brand, and you know what? That one's me. Don't make it painstaking for yourself, don't make it painstaking for your instructor. There are life choices, and a great life choice is to choose a rip-roaring instructor that you can totally relate to, that's just firing on all cylinders. And if that guy is recommending 2 or 3 gliders, remember, any one of those is gonna be amazing, and that's not a life choice. It's like the color of your car. It could be a big deal, you can make it into a big deal, or you can just buy it and drive it. And my suggestion to you is be smart, feel it out, make your own call.